Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Armstrong, and I want to speak with you today about channeling the creative energies of kids diagnosed with ADHD. One of the things you've probably noticed if you've worked with kids who have been identified with attention deficit disorder is how they hate routines. They hate boredom. They have a lower level of tolerance when it comes to boredom. Now, that's the negative way of looking at things. The positive way of looking at the same thing is that kids with ADHD actually love new things. They love to be surprised. They like innovation. They're what has been called novelty seekers. And there's research out there suggesting that people labeled ADHD, especially kids, have higher levels of novelty seeking than non-ADHD kids. So that means when we think about strategies to help these kids, we should be focusing on ways that we can bring novelty seeking into their lives. In the classroom, there are several ways of doing this. One way is by asking interesting questions. For example, when the school bell rings, ask the student, what kind of school bell system do you think we have? And if you're studying, let's say, European history, ask your students what would have happened if Napoleon had actually defeated the Russians in Moscow. Getting them to think of alternative histories really brings out their imagination. Another strategy is to use role play. Almost anything in the school can be dramatized, any subject in school. You can dramatize history, a selection from a book you're reading, a word problem in math, a law in science. And this brings out the creativity in students, and especially with your students diagnosed with ADHD, it gives them a way of being in their body and being creative at the same time. Another suggestion is to use their imagination by visualization. Ask your students to close their eyes and imagine what it would be like to live in a world of only negative numbers, let's say in math class. Or have them close their eyes and visualize the Battle of Gettysburg in U.S. history. This brings their creative juices into their own visual thinking processes and will help a lot of kids, and most importantly, it will grab the attention of the novelty-seeking ADHD-identified kid. Those are just a few of the strategies. If you're interested in more strategies or you want other ways of reaching and teaching kids with ADHD, I'd like to recommend you get my book, The Myth of the ADHD Child, 101 Ways to Improve Your Child's Behavior and Attention Span Without Drugs, Labels, or Coercion. It's available in bookstores from Tarcher Perigee. Thanks very much and have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are.